It's a musical question, and I've asked music people about this today.
Sing it.
I'm not going to, but I want to know why in the song Karma Chameleon is there a harmonica in the background? Like almost like a blues riff harmonica.
Well, why not?
Yeah.
It's not a blues song.
It was the early 80s.
Boy George is not a blues musician.
You can just have harmonicas.
But this is not a Culture Club podcast. Welcome to Season 8, Episode 19 of Cinema Chop Shop. This is a movie podcast that concedes that remakes are going to happen, so why shouldn't movie buffs,
like us,
decide who is recast in those iconic roles? My name is...
Sid TraVicious, a.k.a. Bram Stoker's Travula,
Yeah.
a.k.a. Travman Begins.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm all about it. And I'm joined in the shop by my co-host and co-producer, Shawn of the Planet of the Apes, a.k.a. the Shaundromat, a.k.a. Tinker Tailor Soldier Shawn. And in our third seat, we've got Chop Shop Regulator, the Book of Chili, a.k.a. Hunter Cheller, a.k.a. the Fifth Chelement.
Nice.
Further description of the show, the tagline says, watch, chop, retrofit, because essentially that's what we do here. We watch older movies, sometimes classic films with iconic actors, and then we retrofit them by tweaking the design with new parts. Quick disclaimer, we're not actually in favor of the remake, reboot, sequel-dependent cinematic culture.
Already forgot it.
Those who never change their mind never change anything.
Those who never change their mind never change anything.
Now say it like Winston Churchill.
Those who never change their mind never change anything.
You got really cogney there. This is more of an exercise in satire and irony. We try to be funny.
and sometimes we succeed.
Bringing us to the theme of the episode. In celebration of his 63rd birthday, the films of Gary Oldman. Before we get into his bio, are you guys on Team Oldman?
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, I would say yeah, but this week...
You saw some things you didn't care for?
Well, yeah, but at the same time, I think he's somebody that I sort of took for granted.
Okay, fair enough.
Just didn't realize his body of work.
Gotcha. Alright, so this comes to us from the Internet Movie Database. Born on March 21st, 1958 in New Cross, London, to Kathleen and Leonard. Kathleen was a homemaker and Leonard was a welder. Gary Leonard Oldman is a talented English movie star and character actor, renowned for his expressive acting style. One of the most celebrated thespians of his generation, with a diverse career encompassing theater, film, and television. He is known for his roles as Sid Vicious in Sid Nancy, Drexel in True Romance, George Smiley in Tinker Tailor Soldier Shawn, and Winston Churchill in Darkest Hour, among many others. For much of his career, he was best known for playing the over-the-top antagonist, such as terrorist Igor Korshunov in the 1997 blockbuster Air Force One. Although he has reached a new audience with heroic roles like in Harry Potter and the Dark Knight franchises. He's also a filmmaker, musician, and author. So that's what we're going to be talking about. So I think we're going to go ahead and go into our next part here, which is the Midnight Double Feature. And this is where we go around the panel and we each talk about two films that are within our category for the week, and we talk about how they're related to each other and why they would make a good pairing for a double feature. And Chelsea, are you ready to go with yours?
I am.
Go ahead.
I'm going to pair 2004's Harry Potter, The Prisoner of Azkaban with 2008's The Dark Knight.
Okay.
The reason I chose these is The Dark Knight is my favorite
Of the
comic
Nolan?
of those series of comics.
Frank Miller, is that right? The Dark Knight?
Yeah.
The Dark Knight
Based
Returns?
loosely on the Frank Miller.
It is.
Yes.
There's some differences, but and then Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban is my favorite book, favorite movie, hands down the best one.
I think it's
of the series.
The best
Yes.
Harry Potter movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
For sure. Right on. I like the pairing. Over to you, Shawn.
Okay, I'm going to do the comedies of Gary Oldman.
Okay.
Have you ever seen Nobody's Baby?
I have not.
Okay, I highly recommend Nobody's Baby just to see...
I recommend Nobody's Baby too.
to see the comedic range of Gary Oldman. Imagine Tim Blake Nelson from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou meets Raising Arizona.
Okay.
With an obnoxious, like, crazy beard mustache combo. And there you've got Gary Oldman. If you didn't know Gary Oldman was in this film, I don't think you would know it was him.
Okay.
I mean, it's such a deep dive. He's in it with Skeet Ulrich.
It's not that.
No,
That picture,
no,
okay.
I'll pull it up at the break.
Okay.
He's in it with Skeet Ulrich.
Skeet?
Yep, Skeet.
Oh, Skeet.
And pretty much outlaws. They come across a baby in the midst of a bunch of car wreckage, and they kind of, risk their lives to protect this baby.
Okay.
And it's a tragic comedy at the end of the film. I haven't seen it in years, but it's stuck with me. I highly recommend checking it out just to see his comedy.
Awesome. I'll have to do that.
And I'm pairing that with 1997's The Fifth Element.
Yes.
And
He's hilarious in this
I
movie.
maintained that the entire film is a comedy.
Okay.
You've got these ridiculous dog alien space muscle guys who are the henchmen of Gary Oldman, who's playing it like some weird southern gentleman.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Is this directed by Denis Villeneuve? Denis Villeneuve?
Luc Besson.
Luc Besson. Okay, thank you.
And all of the military and government scenes look like they were shot like on a C-movie backdrop, and all the costumes are really bad. And
They just used the set from Lost in Space.
not even. And they're just, it's really funny because it was always described to me as a sci-fi movie and an adventure movie, and it is that.
Yeah.
I watched it for the first time this past week, believe
Yeah.
it or not. And I was like, this is a comedy. This is a funny movie. The whole movie
It's
has
hilarious,
to
but
be
it's
like-
also does have some on its face value sci-fi qualities, and it's just a fun movie to watch.
it is.
I really like
It's
this
a
movie.
feast for the eyes.
Mhm.
But
and Lilu, good lord, she's hot.
no, yeah, she's. Yeah, this was when Mila Jovovich was more than just a carbon copy of herself in all of her films. This was like a really fresh take,
Yeah.
so I really liked that.
And that outfit,
well,
the
yeah.
suspenders,
Well, I got
and
that.
see her
I
belly button.
wear it on the weekends. And then of course Chris Tucker as Ruby Rod.
Ruby Rod!
Yeah, good stuff, good funny stuff. Check it out. Gary Oldman's great.
Nicely done, sir. I went with the more historical figures route. So the first one I watched last night, and it was pretty damn impressive. It's called Immortal Beloved. It's directed by Bernard Rose, and it came out in 1994. Bernard Rose also directed Frankenstein from 2015, the original Candyman from 1992, and Anna Karenina from 1997. This movie has a 56% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think it could be higher. This biography chronicles the life of infamous classical composer Ludwig von Beethoven, played by Gary Oldman, and his painful struggle with hearing loss. Following Beethoven's death in 1827, his assistant, Schindler, different Schindler, searches for an elusive woman referred to in the composer's love letters as Immortal Beloved. As Schindler solves the mystery, a series of flashbacks reveal Beethoven's transformation from passionate young man to troubled musical genius. So, Gary Oldman, I would definitely call him a chameleon in terms of his physical appearance. He never looks quite the same in any of these movies.
Would you call him a karma chameleon?
A karma chameleon.
Yes,
Yes.
that's a callback.
That's a good callback.
Okay.
All right, so I'm pairing that with a movie that is, it's critically acclaimed. It's got an 84% on Rotten Tomatoes. It won him the Best Actor award at the Oscars. Came out in 2017. It's The Darkest Hour. And I'm not trying to take anything away from this movie. His performance is amazing. The movie's just so boring.
Yeah, as I was watching this, I remember thinking, boy, he's really good. He's really
Yeah.
good, but the movie itself, kind of a snoozer.
Oh, did you see my review?
No.
I'll tell you after this. The fate of Western Europe hangs on Winston Churchill in the early days of World War II. The newly appointed British Prime Minister must decide whether to negotiate with Hitler or fight on against incredible odds. During the next 4 weeks of 1940, Churchill cements his legacy as his courageous decision and leadership helped change the course of world history. My review, I said, should have got Taika Waititi to play Hitler. Would have been much more enjoyable and held my attention. All right, that's going to wrap us up on the Midnight Double Feature, bringing it into our feature segment. This is the recast, and this is where each of us on the panel have watched a movie in advance, a pre-selected film, and we talk about it a little bit, and then we talk about who we would recast in this movie if it were being shot or produced today, right?
Yes.
All right, so the movie that's going to get this treatment first is True Romance from 1993, directed by Tony Scott. It has a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. I was a little bit disappointed that you guys didn't like this movie as much as me. And I was listening to you, and you were talking about the score, the Hans Zimmer score, and those bells. But those bells, that's kind of like the theme song of the movie, that melody of bells. But you also said that you felt that it could have had more of Tarantino's influence on it, because he did write the screenplay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, the script has Tarantino written all over it, but I think Tony Scott drops the ball on all of the really important Tarantino scenes with
Rest in peace, Tony Scott.
rich dialogue, and the Bells refrain was just kind of old school filmmaking, and that it was lazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there were scenes where there needed to be that obscure doo-wop song that that Tarantino would pull into a soundtrack to really underscore what he's trying to say. That wasn't in this movie, and I just felt like there were so many missed opportunities to make this movie better than what it was.
Let me ask you this. Did you watch the credits?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Did you see who his imaginary Elvis was?
Yeah. It's Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer. And you also have Balky from Perfect Strangers in there with a shit ton of cocaine.
As I said in my review, Bronson Pinchot and Brad Pitt made this movie watchable for me. I thought both of them were exceptionally good.
Brad Pitt's character is great, just sitting on the couch smoking out of the honey bear.
Fantastic. But I thought Dennis Hopper and Christopher Walken were a little wasted, because I don't think that scene could have been as good as it was written.
Right.
Same.
I thought that Christian.
Side note, Brad Pitt brought that honey bear from home.
Good job. I think Christian Slater was terrible.
So do I.
I think he was awful in this movie.
What about Patricia Arquette?
Patricia Arquette was fine. She played the part that she needed to play. Gary Oldman, of course, the man of the hour. I'm going to address in my recast.
Okay.
Really went out on a limb with this part. I don't know how much of it he brought to the table and how much of that was in the script. I'd be really curious to know, because that is an edgy, even for 1993.
Yes.
To have a white guy playing such an Afrocentric type projection of his role.
Yeah. So a comic book nerd and Elvis fanatic, Clarence, played by Christian Slater, and a prostitute a sex worker named Alabama, played by Patricia Arquette, fall in love. Clarence breaks the news to her pimp and ends up killing him. He grabs a suitcase of cocaine on his way out, thinking it is Alabama's clothing. The two hit the road for California, hoping to sell the cocaine, but the mob is soon after them. So once again, we've got Clarence Worley, played by Christian Slater. He was just 24 at the time. We've got Alabama Whitman, played by Patricia Arquette. She was 25. We've got Drexel Spivey, played by Gary Oldman. Also, he was 35. And then, I'm going to butcher this name, Vincenzo Cocotti, the mob boss, played by Christopher Walken, who was 50. And then we've got Clifford Worley, Clarence's dad, who's a security guard, and they're kind of estranged from each other, played by the late, great Dennis Hopper, who was 57. All right, are we ready to share our picks?
Yeah, let's do the do.
All right, Chelsea, who's going to be your Clarence?
This is a Chop Shop favorite.
Okay.
He was in Spider-Man, Captain America: Civil War,
Mm-hmm.
the new movie called Cherry that I have not
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
yet.
yeah.
I went with Thomas Holland.
Thomas Holland.
I can't do it as well as you guys.
Very nice. So that movie Cherry, did you say it's on Netflix? It just came out.
It just came out.
For,
I think
for home streaming. I've read different things. I've read some people say that it's an awesome movie and that he's really great in it and that it's out of type for him.
Mhm.
But then other people are saying he's completely miscast. So can't get everybody to agree.
No.
Over to you, Shawn. Who is your Clarence?
I was an actor who's 25 years old, can be seen in Deadpool, Deadpool 2, The Exorcist, as well as Tragedy Girls. I went with Brianna Hildebrand.
Oh, nice.
Ah.
I like it.
Uh-huh.
Switching it up.
Well, just switching up one character. I think
Okay.
that she could play this really well.
That is fair. All right, my turn. My Clarence Worley is 23 now. He was in Conan the Barbarian, the newer remake with Momoa.
Mm-hmm.
Why Women Kill, we all want to know that. And G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra. His name is Leo Howard. Leo Howard is going to be my Clarence Worley.
I see a little face value there.
Yeah.
Mhm. Next up, we've got the sex worker with a heart of gold, Alabama, played by Patricia Arquette. She was 25. Chelsea, who'd you go with for this one?
My actress is a Disney starlet.
Okay.
She was in a TV show called Liv and Maddie, The Descendants 2. I went with Dove Cameron, and I think you've recast her.
I shopped her.
That sounds
I've used her
familiar.
before.
Gotcha. All right, Shawn?
I went with an actress who is 25 years old. Can see her in The Kings of Summer, Chemical Hearts, that horrible Charlie's Angels reboot. But most people would know her from Riverdale as Betty Cooper. I went with Lily Reinhardt.
All right.
Shopped her.
Can we see?
Lily.
All right.
Reinhardt.
My actress is 24. She was in the 2019 version of Charlie's Angels. She's in Hustlers, Chemical Hearts, and Riverdale. Her name is Lily Reinhardt.
That's right, I forgot to mention she was in Hustlers. Good pick, buddy.
Hustlers.
Good pick.
All right. Next up, we've got Drexel Spivey, and give us a little bit more of what you were going to talk about with his character.
Well, like I said, it says it in the movie. He thinks he's a black guy,
Mm-hmm.
and he's a drug
He's
dealer.
got dreadlocks.
Dreadlocks. He's got a scar with like a blind eye. Very, very well designed character for the camera.
And daring for him to take that role, I think.
Yeah. It's so funny because I was in college when this came out, and it was one of those movies that was always on in somebody's
Yep.
dorm room. And I think I had walked by, maybe saw bits and pieces. It was my impression that Gary Oldman, and this is a spoiler, it was my impression that Gary Oldman was in this entire movie as the big villain.
Yeah.
And I was really shocked that he was only in it for a very small part.
Yep.
But you talk about making an impact.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that I remember from this movie.
All right. Chelsea, who's your pick?
So when I saw this movie for the first time and I saw this character, I immediately thought of this person. He's been in 127 Hours, The Disaster Artist, most notably Spring Breakers,
Spring Break.
as a character named Alien, and
Yeah.
that's who I want him to reprise
Uh-huh.
for this role.
The role of Alien.
James Franco.
That's great. Fantastic.
Franco's a good one.
Sean?
So, circling back to what I was saying about it being daring, like you said, daring to take this role, it could be career suicide.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked an actor who's not afraid to take on roles or act in such a way that could be career suicide. And with a 34-year-old actor who could be seen in such films as Fury, Transformers, Honey Boy, and The Peanut Butter Falcon.
Peanut Butter Falcon!
Who is Shia LaBeouf.
So, I went with an actor who's 34. He can be seen in Holes, Nymphomaniac, Honey Boy,
Should I just
and The Peanut Butter
fucking go?
Falcon. It's Shia LaBeouf.
Nice.
So what I really wanted to do was cast Post Malone, but Post Malone's too young. But Post Malone kind of looks like a ghetto Shia LaBeouf, and Shia's the right age.
I like it.
Yep.
Should I just leave?
You've had some good picks. You've had some good picks. They're probably only going to get better. The next role that we're going to recast is the Sicilian mafioso Vincenzo, played by Christopher Walken. And there is a notorious scene that you were talking about, where there's an exchange between Dennis Hopper's character and Christopher Walken's character. We're not going to get into the specific language used, but Dennis Hopper is really egging him on. He knows he's going to die anyway, so he just keeps pushing the button. So Christopher Walken was 50, and Chelsea, who did you pick for this?
I picked somebody who is very Italian.
Okay.
He can be seen in The Sopranos as the best character in that TV show, in my opinion. I went with Michael Imperioli.
Is that the nephew?
Yeah.
Yeah, Christopher.
Gotcha.
Oh my god, he was so good.
Yeah, that's good. I could see that. All right, Shawn, over to you.
I was an actor who just turned 50.
Mm-hmm.
he can be seen in films. Actually, there's one movie in particular that got my attention. I'm going to lead off with that one. It was We Summon the Darkness.
Okay.
Really bad horror movie that came out 2 years ago with Daddario.
Okay.
Alexander
Daddario.
yeah. But he can also be seen in films such as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Ringer, Bad Grandpa, and Dukes of Hazzard. I went with Johnny Knoxville.
Oh yeah, I actually shopped him. That's good. My actor, I don't think he's Italian. He's a little bit too gingered to be Italian.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. But he is 50. He was in Band of Brothers. He's on the show Billions, and he was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. His name's Damian Lewis.
Oh, he's
Damian
good.
Lewis.
He's great.
He's a great actor, and I think he can pull off the calm but scary demeanor.
Yeah.
All right, we've got one more, and it is Clifford Worley, played by the late great Dennis Hopper, who was 57 at the time. And Chelsea.
I struggled with this recast a little bit, and then I was thinking back to that scene, and I thought about this person doing it, and it made me laugh.
Yeah.
Which it really shouldn't, but it did. I went with Alec Baldwin.
Whoa, that's interesting. All right.
I like that pick.
Shawn, who did you go with?
I really like my pick. I'm quite fond of it, actually. He's about to turn 58 years old in a couple of weeks. You can see him in films such as Terminator 2 Judgment Day, Total Recall, excuse me. You can see him in the TV series Claws and Nova Vita, but most people would know him from either Under the Dome or Breaking Bad. I went with Dean Norris.
That's good. I like that.
Oh yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Oh, he was in something I saw recently where he's like a military person.
Yeah.
Like a general or something.
I could see him just playing that scene just as cool as Hopper did.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right. Well, I was inspired by how Dennis Hopper didn't mind getting blood all over his face. So I picked an actor who's 57 now. He was in Leaving Las Vegas. The Wicker Man and Willy's Wonderland. It's Nicolas Cage.
I shopped him.
Nice.
All right, so I think we've pretty much revealed whether or not I'm gonna say thumbs up. I recommend this movie, but
Look, I'm gonna. You can watch the movie. I'm neutral on it. I don't hate the movie.
right, you
I
just
just
had
saw
higher expectations.
I had higher expectations, but also I can see where this movie could be greatly improved with better direction.
Right.
Because the script is really good.
Indeed. Chelsea.
Same.
All right. So with that, we're gonna go to intermission, but not before we say, "Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby and get ourselves some some scenery to chew up." All right, welcome back, and thank you for bearing with us during intermission. When we come back, what do we like to do, Shawn?
Beer check-ins.
And we have one that's kinda on theme. You had a better idea with the old ale, but I couldn't find one.
They're tough to find, yeah.
And so I went with a blood orange goza because Dracula.
Yeah, makes sense. This is from Anderson Valley.
Out in California. They, we've talked about this on the show before, but the people in that community have their own language.
They do?
Yeah, they had, like, if you look at the top of the can when it says something hornin', that's part of their language.
Yeah, ball hornin'. That's you.
I was expecting it to be more blood colored.
Well, Chelsea, do you want to?
Oh, no thanks.
No thanks
I'll
on
just
that one?
stick with my chocolate.
That is super tart.
Let's see what we got here. Woo!
Yeah. I'm not getting a lot of blood orange, maybe a little bit.
I'm not getting a lot of blood, and I'm not getting a lot of orange. It's just...
It is what it is. Check it in. All right, so next we're going to go into our 2021 movie marathon. As of this recording, it is the 80th day of the year, and I'm on 89. I had originally typed in 90 because I thought for sure I was going to be able to watch one more movie, but I took a nap instead. So I'm on 89. What are you guys on?
95.
148.
All right, that's amazing. What are you going to check in first, Chelsea?
So a film from 1956 called Baby Doll.
Okay.
This is a
What's the genre?
Southern Gothic.
Okay.
Yeah. It was great.
Really?
It's an
It
Elia
was
Kazan.
so good.
Is it on Criterion?
No.
Okay.
It's Elia Kazan, and it's a Tennessee Williams screenplay.
Yes, it's amazing.
All the makings for a masterpiece. Can you reveal anything else about it, or just
Yeah,
watch it?
so Baby Doll is a 19-year-old girl who was put in an arranged marriage by her dad before he passed away. And she made a deal with her husband. They weren't going to consummate the marriage until she turned 20.
Okay.
So he used to own a cotton gin, and a competitor sort of moved into town.
Well, I don't cotton to that.
And he gets mad and jealous because their house is kind of in shambles. He's losing money. Baby Doll's clearly pissed off at him. Burns down the other cotton gin.
Was it his idea to wait till she turns 20?
No, it's
It was
hers.
part of the arrangement. Carl Malden is the guy in the arranged marriage.
Oh, good.
Baby Doll is played by Carol Baker, who is from Giant with
Paul Newman?
James Dean.
James Dean.
And then Eli Wallach is the competing cotton gin owner.
A Sicilian.
Sicilian,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Funny, we
It
should
all comes
mention
back
that.
together.
Yeah, right? Very well worth watching.
Oh, it was great.
Very cool.
Shot in the Delta of Mississippi in the small town of Benoit.
Yeah, the people,
Benoit?
Yeah,
the people of Benoit are credited in the opening credits.
yeah.
Oh, so
it says a bunch of folks from Benoit, Mississippi.
It's so cute.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a good one. I'm gonna check in. What am I checking in? Not the laundromat. That was terrible.
The Chandramat.
I'm checking in The Firm, but not that firm.
Not that firm.
This is the Gary Oldman movie. It's only like 70 or 80 minutes.
It's about the
short.
British royal family.
No.
Oh!
Nope. This is Gary Oldman leading a gang of soccer hooligans in a series of scuffles and skirmishes against rival fans.
Okay.
And the stakes just constantly get higher and higher and higher, and becomes quite deadly.
So does the firm refer to like their gang?
I don't know. I
Or
never
is it
really
their,
caught
their
that.
fandomship?
I don't know, but it's an early film. It's from '89, and it really captures that Gary Oldman unhinged psychological weirdness. Like, you know, some bad shit's coming up just because of how engaged he is with this whole rivalry.
Ominous.
And yeah, exactly. Great word. And you know all the words, the big words. But it, like I said, the stakes get higher and higher, and it's pretty explosive. It's got one of the characters from Snatch in it. One of the black gentlemen that were the had the fake.
I know who you're
pistols.
talking about. He's kind of regular in Guy Ritchie movies.
Yeah, and he's in that, very young. But it's cool. It's worth watching, and it's on Amazon Prime.
Right on. All right, my first check-in is on Netflix, and it's number 85 for me. It's called Moxie from 2021. This is a excellent and exuberant coming-of-age / female empowerment movie directed by Amy Poehler. And this is not a spoiler, really. It's not a spoiler. I was waiting for the I am Spartacus moment, and boy oh boy does it pay off.
Nice.
And next up for you, Chelsea.
A documentary called Kid 90.
Kid 90, I've seen this.
Soleil Moon Frye
Yep.
has a video camera in her hands
For like the whole 90s.
her entire youth.
Punky Brewster?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Indeed.
Um,
And it's pretty heartfelt. Like, she goes into
really
detail
is.
about the stigma she had being a girl who developed early, and how she made the decision to have breast reduction surgery.
But like at 16, 17,
Yeah.
she's pretty young.
Yeah, for sure. But she was living in a fishbowl. You know?
Yeah. No, it was
Not
great.
literally. She had a house.
We got that, thanks. It was really good.
I liked it too.
All right, here we go. This is the check-in of the week. Come True.
All right.
All right.
Now, I'm watching this later tonight, so please don't hurt me.
I was feeling some Cronenberg vibes coming from this sleep / dream mindfuck movie. The retro sleep study equipment made it feel off-kilter in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
The soundtrack was super cool too. I want more from the director Anthony Scott Burns.
Nice. And he saw your tweet.
He liked my tweet, and I looked into him, and as he said, he got a review from the New Yorker, and it was a rave review, and he said, I can't believe that it was just me, 5 friends, and a DSLR camera.
Wow.
Thank you, Cinema Jesus. So that kind of humility was really hit hard. I was like, this movie is indie as all get out.
Yeah.
It's not a perfect movie. Don't go into it thinking it's going to be perfect, but it's got all these great little nuggets of weirdness.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think this will be a good movie for me to watch while I'm batching it up.
Yes, it's
absolutely.
yeah, it's cool. It's really weird, and there's some strange like time dilation.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else about it. And then the soundtrack is great.
Nice.
The director is a musician himself.
Okay, so did he compose the
I don't
soundtrack?
think.
But he definitely had input
I don't think
on
it was him. It's a group called Electronic Youth.
Okay.
And their Twitter is so cute because, like, in their bio they list it's a guy and a girl, and they're like middle school sweethearts.
Aww.
So cute.
Hey, finish up that beer. I want to open this
Okay.
other one.
Hold on.
While you're finishing that, I'm going to open it. This is an unmarked can for the viewers who are watching us on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
This is a partial from our recent canning of Pulpy Love
Pulpy Love.
from Seminar Brewing, seminarbrewing.com. This is the strawberry raspberry combo.
And we really need to enunciate the L in Pulpy Love because so many customers
Say Puppy Love?
say Puppy Love.
Well, that was kind of the inspiration behind the name. Well, this will definitely give you your red that you were hoping for.
Yeah. The blood is life, and it shall be mine.
This is a good canning. I was really pleased with this batch.
Oh, that is tasty. Thumbs up, and hats off to Jamie and the brew crew.
Yeah, be on the lookout for this with fresh graphics from Vincent.
Nice.
He did the graphics for the can. I think they're fantastic. So good stuff coming up.
All right, is it my turn?
Yeah, hit it.
All right, number 86 for me is going to be a documentary as well that we were just chuckling about off mic during intermission. It's called The Last Blockbuster. When they started making the movie, the documentary, there was still 4 or 5 blockbusters, mostly in Alaska and one in Bend, Oregon. So, it's still open tonight for curbside pickup in Bend, Oregon. Tons of scenes and interviews with filmmakers, critics, executives, and movie buffs. This is anybody who was not living under a rock during the 90s remembers Blockbuster Video. Excuse me. And it was a complete paradigm shift from the shitty video store, the local family-owned video store. Now, I still have a place in my heart for those as well, but this was like a streamlined experience.
It really
Selection.
Yes.
Selection.
And one of my favorite parts about the movie is everybody that they interview talks about the experience of just walking around trying to decide what you're going to watch, whether it's by yourself or with a significant other. Maybe it's your first date. Maybe that's the foreplay. Maybe
I love that.
Maybe
I love
it's
that.
maybe it's your parents and your kids, and they're trying to decide between a family movie and dad wants his western and blah blah blah. But the movie's just outstanding.
My favorite part was when they talked about the smell when you walk in,
Uh-huh.
and like instantly I
Yep.
was just transformed there, and I was like, oh my god, I had forgotten about this
Yeah.
smell.
And so it's a combination of popcorn and shrink wrap.
Yep.
And gummy worms.
Yes.
Oh.
All right. So yeah, that's my check-in for that. And you're next, Chelsea.
No, I piggybacked off both of yours. Then.
Okay.
I got one more. I'll make it quick. This is an odd Gary Oldman flick worth watching. It's called The Backwoods.
The Backwoods.
It's
Okay.
from 2006. It co-stars Patty Considine. You would know Patty from the Shawn of the Dead films.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Summer 1978, 2 couples vacation at a remote house in Spain. Things seem ideal until Gary and Patty discover a deformed, feral child in an abandoned house in the woods.
Well, fuck me.
Yeah,
No thanks.
it's weird. It's grim, and but you know, worth looking at.
Can the abandoned feral child talk?
A little bit.
Okay.
She kind of has the lobster hands.
Ooh. Does she sound like Nell?
No, not no.
By the way, goodbye.
Yeah, Mila Jovovich sounded like her in Fifth Element.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah, that was part of the sexiness. All right. So.
You got a thing for Nell?
No, I have a thing for speech impediments. My next pick, it's my turn.
Yeah, go.
It's a short film, relatively speaking. It's number 88. It just came out on HBO Max.
Oh, Jesus.
It's Zack Snyder's Justice League from 2021. Now, yes, I watched it all in one sitting. No, I didn't go to the bathroom. I didn't hate the Whedon cut as much as everybody else. But that being said, and despite the length, this is an improvement.
Okay.
Now I've heard all of the complaints and the criticisms that it's just fan service and how can you call it a cut when you just put everything you shot in the movie, because it is a solid 4 hours long.
Jeez.
But you get a lot more of Ray Fisher,
Yeah.
character Cyborg, and also a lot more Wonder Woman.
You get Martian Manhunter too, apparently. A
Uh,
little bit.
tell me,
The green guy, John Jones. I've seen stills.
Okay.
I've not watched this.
I don't remember that part.
But I'm gonna give this a try because I've seen enough nerds who
Yeah.
are like, you know, the plot still sucks.
Yeah,
The character development still sucks.
I didn't hate it.
But for fan lip service,
Yeah.
give it a look.
Oh, they did not say the word Martha one time in the whole movie. Why did you say that name? All right. So yeah, that's my opinion about that. Are we done with the 2021 movie marathon for this week?
Yep.
Yep.
All right. So once again, we check those in online with the hashtag 2021 movie marathon on Twitter and Letterboxd. And I'm just reiterating that this is episode 19. We've got 5 more episodes this season, and then my movie check-ins will be switching back over to my personal email account. My personal Twitter handle. And I guess my email too. All right, so I guess that means it's time for the second part of our feature segment, The Recast Continued.
Part 2.
And this is going to be a biopic about one of the pioneers of punk.
A feel-good story.
It's called Sid and Nancy from 1986. It was directed by Alex Cox, who also directed Repo Man and a Western called Walker with Ed Harris. And I feel like his role in that movie, Walker, is where he takes his inspiration for the Man in Black on Westworld.
Okay.
Quick rundown. Following their breakout success in England, flagship punk rock band the Sex Pistols venture out on their first U.S. tour. Temperamental bassist Sid Vicious, played by Gary Oldman, takes his troubled girlfriend, Nancy Spungen, played by Chloe Webb, along for the ride. Along the way, the couple's turbulent relationship strains the patience of bandmate Johnny Rotten and manager Malcolm McLaren, played by David Heyman, while plunging Sid and Nancy into the depths of drug addiction and codependency. This is not a feel-good movie.
No.
Boy, oh boy.
Wow.
So I watched this several years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and remember I didn't know what was going to happen at the end. Like, from a historical standpoint, I didn't know the tragic ending of the movie, and I remember it just being like a gut punch.
Well, the ending is still kind of ambiguous because
Well-
what's presented in the film is not 100% confirmed.
But the very final scene is what you're talking about. We're supposed to understand that he's not seeing reality. He's still all strung out and hallucinating.
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation that it was their dealer that did the deed.
Oh, the dealer's great. He was played by David.
Heyman.
No. The other one. Bowery Snacks. Bowery Snacks is the name of the drug dealer. And his
Oh, Xander Berkeley.
Xander Berkeley
Okay,
plays
that's right.
Bowery Snacks, which is the best name for a drug dealer you can ever ask for. You man, I just gotta go get up with Bowery Snacks.
I thought that Andrew Schofield, who played Johnny Rotten, aka John Lydon, looks pretty good.
Right on.
In terms of, you're talking about a biopic trying to portray somebody from real life.
Absolutely. All right, so we've got 3 roles in this one. We've got Sid Vicious, played by Gary Oldman, who was 28 at the time, and I think that might be a little bit older than Sid Vicious was in real life. I don't know for sure though. And then we've also got Nancy, played by Chloe Webb, who was 30 at the time. And then we've got Gretchen, who is Nancy's friend, played by a 20-year-old Courtney Love in this movie. Any thoughts before we get started recasting?
I don't know.
It's
Ironic.
an upsetting film.
I think it's ironic
It really
that
is.
Courtney Love was in this movie
Same.
in a very backwards kind of way, if you're going to believe speculations.
Yep.
Or the truth.
Or the truth, depending on who you are.
So, first up, Chelsea, who's your Sid Vicious?
So my actor was in Mad Max, About a Boy, Warm Bodies, but recently I fell in love with him all over again on the TV show The Great. I went with Nicholas Hoult.
Nicholas Hoult is really good.
Yeah, Holt's
I
nice.
always forget that he's in Fury Road. He's one of the war boys.
Yep.
He is the war boy.
The war boy.
That ends up in the rig with all the girls.
All right, Shawn, your Sid Vicious.
I kind of stuck to the age range. I went with a 28-year-old actor from London, England. He was in Finding Neverland, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Art of Getting By, but I really liked his role as Norman Bates in Bates Motel. I went with Freddie Highmore.
Okay, yeah. I can see him. And I've definitely seen that face before. I never watched Bates Motel though. Is it good?
I heard it was pretty good. I mean, I never saw it either.
All right.
You got time for TV.
This is a movie podcast.
I'm watching
damn
movies,
it.
people.
All right, my Sid Vicious. I'm glad we didn't pick the same person because this was the first person I thought of. He's primarily a musician, but has definitely been in some films. He's 30 years old now. He was in The Land, Bird Box, Captive State, and The Dirt. His name is Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
good call.
Next up, we've got Nancy, who was played by Chloe Webb, who was just 30 at the time. And Chelsea, what are you thinking about for this one?
I thought of this actress when I recently saw the TV show Vinyl, and I went with Juno Temple.
Juno Temple's great for
Good
this.
call.
Yeah.
That's really good. She's also in that TV series with James Franco, right? What's it called? Where she plays a sex worker. Do you remember what I'm talking about? The TV series with James Franco?
No, I don't
Where
know.
there's 2 of him? No?
I don't know what it is.
Dana! All right. Shawn, you're Nancy?
Yeah, Nancy was annoying as hell,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that was intentional because
Yeah.
the real Nancy was annoying as hell. She was a hanger-on, and she really didn't have a hell of a lot of redeeming quality.
Well, no, but diagnosed with schizophrenia at 15,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
drug addict afterwards. Of course, you're going to be annoying.
so she had a suitcase full of problems.
Yeah.
So I went with,
And drugs.
yeah, so I went with an actress who kind of would be able to pull off a lot of those qualities and characteristics. She's 30 years old, and she was in House of Cards with a bit part, Patriots Day, The Finest Hours, but most people would know her from the marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I went with Rachel Brosnahan.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she's great. She's in that new movie that's like a thriller. Did you just mention it?
No.
Oh, it was really good, and she's blonde in it. I think it's called I'm Your Woman, something like that. Really cool. All right, so I've kind of got a theme here. My theme is people who are primarily musicians but have also delved into the world of acting. And even though Nancy wasn't really a musician, she was kind of a hanger-on.
She was a singer.
Was she? Okay. Then my actress is 34 now. She was in Machete Kills, American Horror Story, and A Star Is Born. It's Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga.
Nice.
I love
Chelsea-
when you say that.
Gaga.
I think she could pull that off. Actually, that would be fun to watch.
She was so good in American Horror Story Hotel. Oh my
With
god,
the
she was
vampire queen?
Yes.
All right, we got one more, and it is the friend Gretchen, played by Courtney Love, who was 20. Chelsea?
I don't like Courtney Love.
Who does?
I fall on the side of things where I think she played a very big hand in Kurt's death. And so I picked a piece of shit actress to play her part. Bella Thorne.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Wow.
Thorne's out. All right, so that's
okay.
yeah.
You know,
I think
shit, no shit.
I think Bella's really good and
I think
and
she's
stuff.
I think she's getting better.
Yeah, I think
So
she's good.
I
She's a
watched-
horrible person in real life. I think.
She really is. But I watched that movie Infamous that like actually made me physically sick because it was so fucking terrible.
Ah.
Hmm.
I'm talking about a movie where she has to go back to like Virginia to find her dad.
Something about like something girl, I
Yeah.
think.
Hmm.
I haven't seen that one yet, but
That one's
I
decent.
just cannot stand her.
Gotcha. Shawn, who's your Gretchen?
I went with a 23-year-old actress. She was in Stranger Things with a minor part. She was in something called The Power Couple, and she's got something coming up this year called Redeeming Love that a lot of people would know her, especially Joey Poole, would know her from The Chilling
God.
Adventures of Sabrina in the role of Dorcas. Her name is Abigail Cowan. Cowan.
I just love that at one point in real history, Dorcas was the legit name for a girl.
Right?
Have you ever seen Seven Brides for Seven Brothers?
Right? Yeah. Dorcas. You know, Dorcas. It's a
Fuck you
good,
guys.
it's a good feminine name. What? You got a problem with Dorcas?
Yeah.
All right, so my Gretchen is also 20 now, and keeping with my theme, she's been in a movie called Justin Bieber Seasons, Coachella, 20 Years in the Desert,
Ugh.
and The World is a Little Blurry Right Now. I went with Billie Eilish.
I seriously thought about her in that.
Mhm.
But she's so adorable.
And she's like
Courtney
actually
Love
talented. Yeah.
is a piece of fucking trash.
She is trash. Billy Corgan liked Courtney Love. That's one.
Ugh.
That's one person. All right, so that's gonna wrap us up on the recast continued. Final thoughts on this?
Ugh.
It's a tough watch.
It
It
is.
really is. It really is. The only thing I will say is most of the time in movies, death scenes are sped up significantly.
Yes.
And they fucking hit the nail on the head with the timeline of how this would have happened.
Oh yeah, when she rolls out of bed and she's like,
Yeah.
I don't feel so good, and
Mhm.
Yep.
makes it all the way to the bathroom and looks herself in the mirror and then drops.
Yep.
It's pretty crazy. Oh, by the way, I opened another beer.
Okay, hold on.
This is from Ardwolf Brewing in Jacksonville, Florida. This is called Slow King. This is their German style Pilsner.
I will try it. So while we're enjoying that, I have 2 bonus segments for you guys.
What?
Yeah, this is unprecedented. First, Dana congratulates herself.
Right.
Now, 2 bonus features. They're both battle royales. Are you ready for the first one?
Hit it.
It's going to be a battle to the death between Gary Oldman, the Old Man in the Sea, and Old Man Winter from the Rankin and Bass movies.
Oh my god. Oh no.
Oh wow.
Well,
Do you want me to combine the 2? Because Gary Oldman's in both of them.
one's a puppet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not picking him.
The other one's Anthony Quinn.
Yeah. Ooh. Well.
Ooh. I'd probably go with Oldman in this one.
Me too.
All right,
Yeah.
man of the hour gets it. All right, next one. Would you pick Gary Oldman versus Gary Coleman versus
Yes.
Gary Busey?
I was hoping you would say Gary Coleman. I'm going with Gary Coleman. What you talking about, Willis?
Oh, Busey all the way. That
I'm talking
crazy
about
one.
his mugshot. Have you seen Gary Coleman's mugshot? He looks straight up evil.
I know, right? And
Mhm.
short.
Yeah.
Gary Coleman all the way.
I'm gonna be the odd man out and say Gary Oldman. That way
Okay.
everybody gets some love today.
Nice.
All
I like
right.
your Busey pick though.
I'm gonna try this Pilsner. What did you say it was called again?
Slow King.
I get some like almost some smokiness.
Really?
Slow King. All right, so we are going to wrap it up with that. I want to thank you, Chelsea, for doing everything that you do. And is there anything that you want to plug?
Trivia.
Trivia will be back this week. And also, Shawn, the brew boss, did you have a good birthday?
I had a great birthday.
I thought that was pretty fun. Fun times were had by all,
Yeah,
except for
fun.
the very beginning where P. Guyton was taking pictures of me while I'm trying to introduce the game, and the words just all came out in different ways. It was like falling out of my mouth. I'm like, game, trivia.
You felt the blazing heat of the spotlight.
The camera, yeah.
And you wilted under the pressure.
So, do you know what next week's episode is?
Yeah, the films of Diane Wiest.
In celebration of her 73rd birthday,
Woo!
the films of Diane Wiest.
Go, girl.
And I do have a sneak preview question and answer for trivia. Wiest received both of her Oscars for performances in films by what director?
Woody Allen.
There you go.
Yes!
Nailed it. She actually worked with him or for him quite a bit.
Hannah and her sisters.
That's one of them.
And what was the other one?
I don't remember.
Damn it. Good for me.
Yes.
Pat on the back.
Fuck yeah.
All right, we want to plug the podcast. Calm down, you guys. We want to plug the podcast itself. Please rate, review, and subscribe to us on all of your podcatcher apps. We are hosted natively online on podbean.com. We're Cinema Chop Shop on there. We are Cinema Chop Shop on Twitter. We are Cinema Chop Shop on Facebook and Gmail and Untapped, where we are going to check in all of the beers that we tried today. And also the YouTube channel is Cinema Chop Shop Podcast, where we've got some extra content on there as well.
For all 7 of you.
Finally, 3 of them are us. Finally, farewell. Thank you to you, the listeners. Remember, still wear your mask and social distance. And please remember to watch, shop, retrofit.
And don't get old, man.